I don't usually work late. Actually, I hate driving at night. It's not because I can't see well or anything. It's just, I don't like how quiet it gets. And where I live, once you're about 10 minutes out of town, you're in pitch black rural roads surrounded by trees. Not the fun kind of trees either. It's always either too quiet or too noisy out there. You know what I mean? Anyway, this happened in early February. I remember because it was right after that big ice storm we had. The roads had just started to clear up, but there were still branches and debris everywhere. I had picked up a double shift that day and ended up leaving work later than usual, around 11:30 p.m. I was driving back on Route 19. It's a long, empty road that cuts through miles of forest. I take it all the time. It's the fastest way home, and by that point in the night, I just wanted to crash into bed. It was one of those nights where everything feels heavy, like your eyelids, your limb, even your thoughts. I rolled the window down to keep myself awake and turned the radio up, but there wasn't even a decent station playing. About 20 minutes in, I noticed something odd. A car was parked just off the shoulder to the right. Hazard lights off, no one inside. It looked like an old gray sedan, probably early 2000s model, and it was half sunken in the mud. I slowed down a little just to make sure no one was waving for help, but there was no movement. It was just there. I thought maybe someone had gotten stuck during the storm and left it there. But then, not even 5 minutes later, I passed another one. This one was a red pickup. Same thing, no lights, no movement, nothing around it, just sitting there, off the edge of the road, like it had been abandoned. That's when my stomach dropped a bit, because I've taken that road dozens of times, maybe more, and I can't remember ever seeing a car parked out there, let alone two. It creeped me out more than I wanted to admit. So I just focused on the road, turned the radio back down, and sped up a little. That's when I hit it. It happened so fast I didn't even have time to react. It was like I drove over something sharp. Some kind of jagged metal maybe, because my car jerked hard to the right, and I heard this horrible scraping sound underneath. My tire pressure warning light came on almost instantly. I cursed and slowed down, eventually pulling over onto the gravel shoulder. I got out, walked around to the front right tire, and yeah, completely shredded. Not just flat, shredded. The wheel well had scratches too, like whatever I hit tore right through the rubber and gouged into the metal. I stood there staring at it, just kind of blank. It was late. I was tired. I didn't even feel frustrated, just tired of existing in that moment. Then I realized where I was. Both those abandoned cars had been behind me. I was now stuck on a rural road with no working tire, zero traffic, no streetlights, and at least 15 minutes from the nearest town. I pulled out my phone, but of course, no service. Just that annoying SOS-only icon. I leaned against the car and looked around. Nothing but trees. And then, I heard something. Footsteps. Not on the pavement, but just inside the tree line, on the leaves. I looked to my left, squinting into the woods, and sure enough, I saw someone standing there. They weren't moving, just standing, half hidden behind a thick pine. I couldn't make out any features. No face, no color, no clothes. Just a dark human shape. Still, watching. And I swear, I froze. My heart didn't even race at first. It just kind of stopped, because my brain took a full second to even register that this was happening. I wanted to speak, say something like, "Hey, you okay?" Or, "Do you need help?" But my throat didn't work. The figure stepped out of the trees. Slow. I jumped into the car, slammed the door, and locked it. I didn't care if the rim got destroyed. I was getting out of there. I turned the ignition, put it in drive, and floored it. The car limped forward. I could feel the metal grinding, could hear the rim scraping hard against the pavement, but it was moving. I looked in the rear view. The person wasn't running. They were walking, slowly, deliberately, watching me. As I curved down the road, I lost sight of them. I didn't stop until I reached the gas station back near town, one of those 24/7 ones with flickering lights and no one inside except some kid at the counter. I parked there and just sat for a moment, catching my breath. It took nearly half an hour before I could even call a tow truck. I didn't sleep that night. I didn't tell anyone about it. Not my coworkers, not my brother, not even my girlfriend. What was I going to say? Hey, I blew out a tire in the woods and some guy just stood in the trees watching me? They'd either laugh or think I was being dramatic, but it stuck with me for days. That image of him, not moving fast, not chasing, just watching. About a week later, I was scrolling the news during my lunch break, just killing time, and I froze. There was an article about 2 people reported missing. Both were last seen driving late at night. Their cars were found abandoned on Route 19. One gray sedan, one red pickup. The exact 2 cars I saw that night. My stomach dropped. I read the whole article 3 times. The police said both cars had signs of tire damage, like they'd hit something sharp on the road. Neither driver had been found. No suspects, no witnesses, no clues. And I realized something that made my hands go cold. I would have been the 3rd. I don't usually go out that late, but that night, I was craving cereal. I know it sounds dumb, but that's the only reason I left the house. It was a Friday, cold, raining a little. I live just outside Portland, in one of those quiet neighborhoods where the sidewalks are always half covered with leaves, and the only thing open past 10 p.m. is that 24-hour Safeway off the highway. It was around 12:40 a.m. I remember because I had to charge my phone before heading out, and I unplugged it right as the clock hit 12:38. I didn't even change clothes, just threw on a hoodie and grabbed my keys. Figured I'd be back in 10 minutes. I didn't even lock the door. The drive was nothing. 1 or 2 cars on the road, all the streetlights working. That light rain that just clings to your windshield, but never really falls. I pulled into the lot, empty, except for a couple employee cars and a beat-up red SUV with one headlight out. It was parked crooked across 2 spaces. Inside the store, it was completely dead. Only one worker at the front, some teenage cashier with earbuds in, not even looking up. I headed to aisle 6, cereal section. That's when I noticed him, just standing there. A guy in a blue jacket with the hood up, facing the shelves. His hands were in his pockets, and he wasn't moving. Like, at all. Just standing, about halfway down the aisle. At first, I thought he was waiting for someone, but there was no cart, no basket, no movement, not even a phone. He was just standing, staring at the shelf, like he was trying to remember something. I grabbed a box of Frosted Flakes and turned back. He was now closer, still not looking at me, just moved down like 10 feet. I didn't hear him walk, and again, hands still in his pockets, staring at the same spot. I smiled awkwardly and walked past him to go back to the front. When I got to the register, no one was there. The cashier was gone. I looked around, called out, nothing. Now the store felt different, quieter, no music, no beeping scanners, just this buzzing sound like one of those flickering freezer lights. Then I heard it. Footsteps, behind me, slow. I didn't look, I just started walking faster toward the self-checkout. Tried to scan the box. Screen said, "Please wait for cashier." I hit cancel and turned around. The man in the blue jacket was standing at the edge of the cereal aisle, still staring at me. Only this time, he was smiling, and his hands were still in his pockets. I grabbed the cereal and walked straight for the door. Didn't bother paying. Alarm went off as I left, but no one stopped me. I didn't see the cashier, not near the customer service desk, not outside smoking. No one. I got in my car, locked the doors, and started the engine. Thatsy when I saw the red SUV again, still parked sideways. But now, it was running. Headlights on, and someone was in the driver's seat, not moving, just sitting. I pulled out fast, took the side exit. I live about 8 minutes from the store. I swear, I didn't see another car the entire way back, except the one behind me. Same red SUV, no headlights, no turn signals. It just stayed 2 cars behind, quiet. I turned off into my neighborhood, took 3 random turns before getting to my place. Still behind me, still no lights. I didn't go home. I drove past my house, took the long way around the block, and parked at a neighbor's driveway, 3 houses down. SUV kept going, didn't slow down, didn't stop, just kept going. I waited 2 full minutes before walking to my place. The front door was unlocked. I know I didn't lock it when I left, but the weird part, it was slightly open, just about an inch. I stood there, heart racing, too scared to go in, but too stupid not to. I pushed it open slowly. Everything looked normal. Kitchen light still on, shoes where I left them, cereal in my hand. Then I noticed something small, something dumb. The bathroom light was on. I never leave that on, ever. I stood frozen for maybe 10 seconds, just staring at it. Then, the light went off. Click, like someone flicked the switch. From inside, I ran out the front door, didn't even close it, ran across the street to my neighbor Tom's house, rang the bell like 5 times. He answered in his robe, confused and half asleep. I told him someone was in my house. He called the cops right away. They came within 10 minutes, checked the whole place. No one, nothing stolen, nothing moved, no signs of forced entry, no footprints, no open windows. But here's what they found: a set of wet sock prints in the bathroom, like someone had stepped in with damp feet, not shoes, just socks. They went halfway into the hallway, then disappeared, like the person had taken them off and walked out barefoot. I didn't sleep that night, or the next one. After that, I talked to the landlord and moved out of that house. I used to work night shifts at this old gas station, just outside town. Not one of those bright, fancy chain places. This one was run down, single pump, a tiny building that smelled like old coffee, and just enough light outside to make you wish there was more. Most nights were the same, boring, quiet, and cold. The kind of quiet where you hear every creak of the floorboards and swear you saw something move outside, even if it was just the wind. But there was one night I still can't shake off. It was a Thursday, I think. Could have been Wednesday. I only remember I'd already been working 6 nights in a row, and I was dead tired. You ever get so tired, even coffee feels like water? That was me. Around 1:15 in the morning, I was behind the counter trying to get the vending machine to spit out a pack of chips I hadn't paid for. I had one earbud in, listening to some true crime podcast. Then, I saw headlights. A dark blue van, older model, just rolled in. Moved so smooth I almost didn't notice it at first. It stopped at pump 2, engine still running, but nobody got out. At first I didn't think much of it. People pull over sometimes, just to check their maps or sleep a bit. Still, something about it felt wrong, like it was too deliberate. I swear for half a second I saw the driver's side door crack open, just a sliver, then it shut again. Nobody came out. I got this weird knot in my stomach, leaned closer to the window, tried to see inside, but the tint was too dark and the rain had started again, streaking down the glass. I stood there watching for maybe 5 minutes. Nothing. Just the hum of the engine. Finally I thought, screw it, and went to grab some coffee from the back. That's when I heard it. A knock. From the back door, I froze, thought I was imagining it, stood there, holding my breath. Then again, louder. Not frantic, not like someone begging to get in, just steady, like whoever, or whatever it was, knew I'd heard. I grabbed the flashlight we kept under the counter. My boots stuck slightly to the tile as I walked. Humidity always made the floor weird. The back door was shut, locked, but just under the little window, on the floor, there was a boot print, small, wet, fresh. And I hadn't heard the door open once. I checked the lock again. It was already latched, but I locked it twice, just in case. When I came back up front, the van was still there. Same spot, still running. I couldn't see inside, but I swear, something in there was watching me. Not just in the paranoid way, I mean the kind of stare you feel in your bones. I reached for the phone on the counter, hovered my hand over the sheriff's number, but then I stopped. What was I going to say? Hi, there's a van outside and it feels creepy. Right then. The front door chime. I spun around. Door was open, just a few inches, no footsteps, no sound, just standing there, like someone had slipped in. Rain blew in, wetting the mat. I walked over, shut it, and locked it again. My hands were shaking so bad, I almost dropped the keys. And then another chime, but not from the front. From the back hallway. My stomach dropped. I stood there, flashlight in hand, listening. The hallway light was buzzing, flickering, like always. I walked down, slow, opened the storage room door, empty. Except, on one of the shelves, was a boot print, not on the floor, on the actual shelf, like someone had stepped up there. I didn't even think. I locked the room, walked straight back to the counter, and called the cops. Took them about 15 minutes to arrive. When they did, the van was gone. No sound of it leaving, no headlights, no tire tracks in the wet gravel. We checked the cameras, all fine, except the one aimed at pump 2. That one, static, the whole time the van was there. Later, we pulled one frame from the corrupted file. Just one, the inside of the store, and on the metal shelf in the back, a figure, no face, just a black silhouette, crouched, staring at the camera. That wasn't there when I looked. No sign of forced entry, no prints, nothing. I switched to morning shifts 2 days later. Didn't explain why, didn't need to. I don't know what happened that night, but I know one thing. I wasn't alone. And whoever, or whatever, it was, it's probably done it before.